Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge, and today I'm going to just give you a quick chat and so hopefully lots of footage of the London Gaming Exchange, or the London Gaming is EGX. I don't know what EGX stands for, but it's the gaming expo that takes place, I think, all over the country at different points of the year. And this was the London show at the XL. So wasn't really planning on going. We got up this morning. I've got my two youngest boys with me, and my oldest one is currently away in Germany. So was like, hey, let's go and do this. So we did. We jumped up. We jumped in the car. We only live about 25 minutes away from the XL in London on a good day, if the traffic's fine. So we figured, let's go and do this. So we did, and yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. Like I say, I'm only going to keep the chat into short, and then I'm going to play you all the photos and footage I took. So what was there? I mean, essentially, there's a huge area dedicated to indie gaming, which was actually the best bit of the show. So I've jumped to the best bit, to be honest. If you go there, when you first go in, because it's still open, I believe, tomorrow, and looking at the date, yeah, I think it's just tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the last day, Sunday the 25th, if you're watching this. The indie part's the best place to be. Spend all your time there. You can jump on games really quickly. There aren't queues like everywhere else to play games, and you can get through tons of games, and they're games that are really going to surprise you. Some really high quality systems games in there to play. All sorts of weird and wonderful things, from horror games and shooter games and party games and platformers, and there's a whole load. So you'll see those in the video hopefully coming up. And then of course the central area was really focused on the big AAA games. So, and there wasn't many there, I'm going to be honest. Wulong was probably the only one that was there that I'm heard of, and Sonic Frontiers. The Wulong you couldn't see. I think I'm getting that name maybe slightly wrong, but it's I know it's meant to be like a feudal Japan type fighter, unless I'm getting that game completely wrong. But the problem is I couldn't tell you what it was about because I couldn't actually see it. It was in a big black box. You had to queue for about 2 hours to be taken into this warded off area, and that was it. You didn't get to any outside view of what the game looked like. So if I'm getting that game wrong, well, tough, because that game was poorly shown at the show, to be honest, unless you wanted to stand in a queue. So more for them for not allowing people to see what that game looks like. And you know, maybe there's some YouTube footage you can go and watch on the game if you're interested. But Sonic Frontiers looked pretty good. You know, we only saw it from a distance. We weren't going to queue 2 hours to play the game, frankly, but from the distance where I could see it, it looked like a pretty good game. It kind of felt like Legends of Breath of the Wild, you know, the Zelda game, where you're free roaming around what looked like a great frontier. There we go, it's included in the name, and getting up to adventure type stuff. So it felt very much like Breath of the Wild with Sonic. So hey, if it's as good as Breath of the Wild, then you know, I'm sure there's going to be no complaints. Then the biggest other area that the show was all dedicated to, like, talks that were going on. There was lots of sort of PC building providers, like, you know, they were showing off some really awesome equipment. There was lots of VR going on around the edges. So if you have an Oculus Quest, you're also going to see, especially in that indie area, a lot of Oculus Quest games. So yeah, get that thing out, brush the dust off of it, and hopefully be some cool games for you to go and play. The other stuff, like I say, lots of stands there were some tournaments going on. I know there was a GoldenEye tournament going on. There was it's not Super Smash Bros, but it's a very similar game to Super Smash Bros with lots of cartoon characters in it, and I can't remember the name of the game, but there was a tournament for that. There was a bunch of whole things going on around that centre. Then right at the very back, there was the retro area. Of course, that's where we wanted to go, so we pretty much went there first to go and check out the retro area. And unfortunately, I'm going to say a little bit disappointing. Right, was what you expected, but then the delivery was quite poor, unfortunately. Arcades, they must have had about, I don't know, maybe 40 arcade machines, and I would say 20 of them were working. Now that's either through people. This is one of the issues I have with this whole area is people don't treat it with care. I think people take great joy in, for some reason, ruining other people's fun by either unplugging a machine or messing with it so it's back to the operating system and needs the game reloading, or they've just done something to the config or whatever. You know, they seem to take joy in that, and if you're one of those people, I don't understand you. But yeah, a bunch of the arcade machines weren't working, so we played a couple of them, but not many. The boys mostly played Outrun because you could get on that and it was the full sort of sitting in where the car actually moves when you're driving along. And then we went into the 8-bits and the 16-bit consoles and so on and so forth, and they were okay. Again, people messing with them a bit. I think the BBC had been completely messed with, so you couldn't use that anymore. There was a whole bunch of other systems that were just not working at all. But we played a few games, you know. Unfortunately, nothing there that we couldn't be doing in here, and I guess that's kind of the issue with these expos, isn't it? You go around them and realise that pretty much everything you wanted to play and see, you've got in your gaming room, probably, if you're someone like me who has a gaming room, and I know most of you that probably watch this sort of stuff do already have that. It was nice to see a bunch of board game companies there as well, so they kind of mixed video game and board gaming. I'm not the only person that does it, see. They are very lightly attached to these things. So there's quite a few card companies there, obviously, with things like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and so on and so forth. There was also board games like River Horse with the Labyrinth game. There's, funny enough, a company there that there's a game called Pear Shaped, which I'm in the advert for, and my kids are in the advert as well. They were there and they recognised that. They even recognised us from their own advert, which was quite funny. So they were showing off a couple other games, a Space Invaders flicking game that they're bringing to Kickstarter, which was quite cool. But yeah, other than that, that was pretty much the day. I mean, you know, things to think about. You can probably get around the whole thing if you're not going to queue for, you know, going to see the big AAA games. You know, we were there for about 4 and a bit hours, maybe come up to 5 hours. So you can get around and see everything that quickly. Otherwise, just think about that. If you're going to queue for some of those games, I know a couple of them were over 2 hours to queue for. So yeah, you really got to want to play Sonic Frontiers, or you've really got to want to play the other game. And there was only a few that had that. So, you know, maybe get there early if you're planning on doing that. I know they do an early ticket, but unfortunately they had sold out of all those early tickets. Like I said, we only decided to go this morning. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably going to play the video over the top of this, but I'll leave some stuff at the end. We didn't buy much on the day. I picked up this from my son. He tells me he is now in. This is for my son who's currently away at the moment. He likes JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So there was this really cool artist there. I'll show you the artist on the back of that company there. And he is doing loads of this really cool art. I'll show you. See if I get details. There we go. That's not going to focus, is it? No. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. We got it for a second now. You can pause the video. But it's really cool art of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And yeah, hopefully he likes it. It'll go up in his room. If not, it'll probably stay in the lodge. My other son, Blake, he bought a mystery box. And I'll put the video at the end of this if you want to see what's inside the mystery box. Ugh. Don't ever buy those things. And my youngest son bought a plushie, a big squishy plushie that he likes. But yeah, that was pretty much it. There was very little in the way of video games being sold, old or new. I think there was one stall that had like a cardboard box with chucked in PS2, Xbox 360, and a few other games. And then I think he had like a couple of cartridges, but nothing to write home about. And certainly I was quite surprised, and not even modern games were being sold there, because we probably would have picked up Splatoon 3, for instance, because we'd seen that being played, and my youngest son was like, "Oh, Dad, can we get Splatoon 3?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure," but if we were there, we would have bought it. But now we come home and he hasn't spoken about it, I'm not rushing out to buy Splatoon 3. And games like that, sometimes I'm quite surprised they didn't have that set up where, you know, you could go and buy all of the games you were seeing. Doesn't seem crazy, does it? But no, apparently not. So yeah, you know, of course you can get them all digitally, but obviously we like to buy them physically. The only stall there that was gaming was Super Rare Games was there, and they had quite a small booth with just a handful of games in again. So I guess their focus was more on playing and experiencing games than buying them, but it does seem a bit bonkers to not have a retail part of it as well, to capture everyone who's like getting hyped about a game and have other games or that game on for sale, because some of those games are out. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the footage you're watching, and if it's still playing, continue watching the video till the footage ends. I can't remember how long it will last, but I will just say goodbye now, and thank you very much for watching the video. Hey, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you like. I know people have had issues with the bell. If your bell's unticked, maybe tick the bell. Who knows? All right. Cheers. Thanks, everybody. Okay, Blake. let's unbox the gaming mystery box. Let's find out what's in there.
I'm very excited.
Okay.
So.
Okay, item number one.
I'm going to open this one.
Oh, okay.
I'll grab something random from the box. So I don't know, special. So we got.
What's this?
Beanie.
Beanie. Let's have a look. RTX London 2018 beanie. Okay, nice. That'd be good for winter.
Let's go with this. We've got a game, a laser team.
Let's have a look. Directors. It's actually a movie.
Oh,
It's a movie. It's going to be a terrible B movie, and probably, but laser team. Director's cut. All right, we'll check that out.
Next thing. Then grab. That's a big thing. We got return that. An Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed 3 mug. Nice.
I'm going to have a look on the box now because I have enough of that. We got a deck of cards.
Okay, this is called £1 Million Although. It is a card game, so we'll probably check this out. It's nice to get a little card game. It says a 17 plus. Oh, it's a bit of an adult card game. Maybe I'll take this to Blackpool or something.
Alright, we got Red versus Blue. Season
Nice. This is the Halo TV series, is it?
Yep.
Red versus Blue, season 11.
We got.
You might like that.
Yeah, we got Achievement Hunter Heist.
Nice. This is a deck box.
Yep.
So actually, we'll use this because we need deck. We always use deck boxes for various things. So bit of board game stuff in there as well. So not just video game stuff, board gaming.
This was the heavy thing in there. A bottle opener.
Nice. What every 11-year-old needs is a skull bottle opener from Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Oh, there you go.
This is a
boost pack for the card game we got.
Yep.
Nice.
Right. It's a big box that I cannot play.
Not safe for you're not doing too well here, aren't you? This is a not safe for work. Your number, another card game.
This is cool. So
Space Invaders vinyl figure.
Yeah. And then
I think I've had one of these from a loot box at some point in my life. It does say loot box on it. I think I've definitely had that from a loot box.
Yeah, and it's Assassin's Creed.
All right. Argular, crouching. So a crouching assassin from Assassin's Creed. And is that it from your box?
Yeah, that is it.
So what do you think about your box, Blake?
Definitely not for me.
These boxes are always full of utter tat, but you always like to get one.
Yeah.
And guess what you got? Some utter tat. There we go. Nice.